So this is what we had discussed yesterday. I believe my screen is visible to all of you, right? So please confirm if my screen is visible and if my voice is audible. That's all. Yeah, thank you, Sanita. So okay, let's continue. I think we had discussed about the CSV's last session. So today we'll see this simple example with the JSON. Let's continue with this. So we'll see like how to work with JSON files, how to read JSON files, how to write JSON files. So this is one more important this thing in Python, like playing with the JSON files. Okay. So first thing, what is JSON? Let's understand that. Later on, we'll see how to play with JSON files. Okay. So here, if you talk about it, this is very much the most used file in a real environment. Apart from regular files like Excel or CSVs, the other kind of file which is very much used in a real environment is JSON. Because JSON is something which is used to hold data. Of course, all these files used to hold data, like what files we say, like this one, CSV or Excel or JSON or XML. All this holds the data, but which are which kind of files are very much used in a real environment? If you ask this question, then the answer is simple, friends. So people use Excel a lot, CSV a lot, and then JSON a lot. Right, these are very much used popular file formats used in a real environment. Okay, when I was working in big data, see, I used to use a lot of CSV files, comma separated files, and Excel sheets. Now, if you ask me, because we are into the this one DevOps management, infra management, so the kind of files we use is mostly Excel. Of course, not that much. We don't use very on a high level because we don't need that for our process management. Second thing is JSON. JSON is something very popular. Even I told you, right, while working again, my experience with JSON is very much when I was working in a big data this thing projects. So we used to use a lot of JSON files there, and we used to process JSON files. So that itself gives you a quick idea of the importance of these files. Okay. So what is JSON now? JSON is something very simple. Already, if you ask me, we had discussed about this one, dictionaries in Python. So we are familiar with dictionaries in Python. We had discussed that already. You know, right? How does a dictionary look like? Dictionary is something which is nothing but in this opening bracer and closing bracer, like flower bracers here, and then in the form of key and value pairs. And each pair is separated with comma. That is a dictionary in Python. And even JSON and dictionaries are almost same. We don't have big difference between dictionaries in Python and JSON in a real environment. Both are almost similar. Even JSON is something like this. It is an object which holds data where data is stored in the form of key and value pairs. And each key value pair is separated with comma. Generally, strings are stored in double quotes and non-strings are stored without quotes. Like numeric data is stored without quotes. So that is something which you need to understand. If you see here, yeah. Shankar, any question?
Yeah, no question. Actually, my Teams crashed. I rejoined
Oh,
the
okay,
meeting,
okay.
so I'm late.
Okay, fine. I just started, Shankar. We, Harish and me having
That's okay.
some discussion. So no problem. Nothing much started. You can. So I was
That's
talking about.
that's good.
So this is JSON. Like JSON is a collection of key value pairs where keys generally, yeah, it will be key and value is separated with colon, and each key value pair is separated with comma. Right? You got it right. Each key value pair. Sorry, each key value pair. Each. So every key value pair is we try to have multiple key value pairs with comma separated this thing here. Okay. So this is a quick idea. I hope you are clear about JSON. JSON is something collection of key and value pairs, and each key value pair will be separated with colon between them. And after that, uh, once we have a key value pair, after that we have to separate that again with comma. These are delimiters for key value pairs. Comma is the delimiter. And to differentiate key and value pair, we put colon between them. So that is the simple idea. And this is how we create a data set with JSON. I hope you are clear for all, all of you are clear. And we have different types of data. If it is string, it has to be in double quotes. If it is non-string, you don't need to put it in double quotes. I mean, a numeric type of data or mostly all numeric type of data like in integers or decimal, this kind of data, you don't need to enclose it in double quotes, but string has to be in double quotes. So that is the idea, friends. Okay. So, and JSON has the below objects. So when you talk about a JSON file, it can have different types of objects here or data types here. So let us see the comparison of JSON with Python. This JSON object, this whole structure, we call it as JSON object. And the same thing we call it as dict in Python, dictionary in Python. I had just discussed that point. So dictionary in Python is nothing but a JSON in object in JSON, what we call. Array in JSON is nothing but called list in Python. And string in JSON is nothing but str in Python. And number in JSON, number of int in JSON is nothing but int in Python. And number of real is float in Python. And true Boolean values. Boolean values here, true is in lower case here. Here true is little, right, there is a case change. T starts with uppercase and false look like this. It's completely in lower case, but here again false F starts with upper. Null we have null in JSON, that is none in Python. So this is the comparison between JSON and Python. Suppose anytime if you are playing with a JSON file, and if you want to convert that JSON into any Python, any Python data structure. So these are all data types. Like what do we have in JSON? What do we have in Python? Right. So if you know that mapping, it would be easy for you to do any conversion from JSON to Python data structures. I hope you are clear. Or Python data types. You can map this JSON with Python. So this is the idea, right? Finally, you are clear, right? What is JSON here? JSON is nothing but Java. You can see here what we call is JavaScript object notion here. So that is JSON, and then what data types are there in JSON, and how they are mapped with how the similar data types are there in Python. So what is the mapping? You can see this is the simple mapping. What in JSON is what in Python. So we had seen that very clearly. So that is the quick idea about this thing, friends. About JSON data, I mean the object of JSON or JSON data set, and then data types, and then how we should declare them. All this, right? So that is the idea. Now, so how to load JSON? Suppose you have a JSON file, something, anything, you can take anything here, right? So you have a JSON file here. Understood, something like this, name, first name, last name, age and gender, something like this, or you can take anything. So how do you read and write a JSON file? To read, we have load function. To write, we have dump function. Okay, so these are two different functions. How to generally when we talk about files. So if you want to play with files, we need to understand two things. One, reading files, two, writing files. Now here, if you want to read a file, so how to read it? If you want to write a file, how to write it? For JSON, we have two functions. One is load function. Second one is dump function. Load is used to read data from a JSON. Okay, and then the dump is used to dump your data into a JSON. That's it. We'll see with examples so that it would be easy for you to handle this JSON file handling. Okay. So we'll do one thing. We'll download a simple JSON file. What we do is let me close this. We download a simple JSON file. File for practice. Okay. Let's download a dummy JSON file. Anything should be fine. Okay, we can download from anywhere. Let us take this. This is one JSON. I think let's take a little simple JSON file. Not this. This guy. Okay. Even this guy is just talking about. Okay. Let us take this one. Okay. Let's take this. This is a simple JSON. What you can do is open a notepad or notepad plus, whatever you think is good for you. And save it as a. So how do you want to save? Just save it as some. Ebooks.json. So extension JSON should be there for a JSON file. Make sure you choose all files here. So you can download any JSON file from the web or internet. Okay, save it as with .json. I'm copying and pasting to you as well. Maybe you can also do the same. So pasting here. So what you can do? Save this as .json. Okay. So please, what you can do? Copy this and put it into a notepad and save this. Okay. So do that. So that is what we should do here, friends. So we have created a JSON file now. So I think you should be fine with this. Next one after this is what is it? Once we are done with JSON, creating JSON file. So right, what you have to do now, you have to see like how to read and write a JSON file. So what is that we should do, friends? We should see we created a JSON file now. You can similarly take any sample code. It's not like it should be this one. Okay, you can take there are many sample codes available. Okay. So usually GitHub has good samples. Okay. Always see this GitHub. Just see like there are so many JSONs here. You can see students data. Right. This is all JSON. If you want, you can just pick some JSON files like this. Okay, no need of this much, but still these data sets will be very useful for you. Generally, GitHubs usually prefer GitHubs so that we have so much of different types of JSONs are available to practice. Okay, to do practice on different JSONs. Right, friends. So this is the idea. Anyhow, we just created a simple JSON file. You can see ebooks. This is enough, friends. So we don't need all this. But still, if you wish, what you can do, you can download from some of these GitHubs so that you have lots of different JSON files available. Maybe if you want, you can try from this GitHub. Okay, I'm just sharing you the link here. Maybe if you wish, you can use this to download this JSON files. Okay, but this is the idea, friends. What is this? So finally, the conclusion is we know what is JSON now, and then how this JSON look like. Okay, and then data types of JSON, all that we had discussed. Right. So next one, let's see. So to work with JSON, we have to use this. So we have prepared a JSON file like this, which is ebooks.json. Now we have to implement read and write on JSON. So to read, we use this load function. To write, we use dump function. So let us try to work with load function now. How to use load here. But before that, if you want to use these functions, first thing we should use this module JSON. And sometimes this module is a default available. Sometimes we need to install this module. And this is not a big problem for us. We can do it directly from the PyCharm. So not an issue. Okay. So now what do we do? So let's try to understand how to read JSON and how to write JSON. So you can simply, what you can do is, let's try that. This is how we can read a JSON. You can see here. Of course, this is not a big deal. This is working on some other data set. I don't think that is not there here. Let's use employee data set. Okay. So this is the simple. These two lines itself gives you an idea how to read a JSON file. If you see here, reading JSON file, which is nothing but for us ebooks.json, we should do now is so the task right now is what is the task, friends? Here we are trying to, what is that we do? We're trying to create. So the task is what is the task? Read ebooks.json. So that is this task. So first thing is we should use the module if you want to work with any JSON files, right? So we have to use a built-in module, which is nothing but JSON itself. So for that, use built-in module. JSON itself. So this is one thing. Second thing, if you want to use this, we have to import it. So it has two functions already discussed, right? Load and dump. Load for reading, dump for writing some JSON. Okay. So we'll see one by one. So let us try to create a simple JSON program. So we created already a simple JSON. You can see here, this is the JSON file. I don't know where I saved it. Let me see. It is saved under our path E drive Python free sessions. I created here. You can create wherever you want, friends. It's up to you. Okay. So that is the idea here. So what do we do right now? So no need of saving it. Already it's there. Okay. So let's try to read this and display it and see how the data look like. Okay. So simply go to PyCharm. So create a new file. What is that? JSON read you call. Okay. So right click. Come on, buddy. What happened to you? Right click. Yeah. New Python file. And then JSON read. That's all. And close other files because they looks little disturbing here. So let's close them. We don't need them. Right. Correctly. Come on. Today it's little seems like slow here. Not sure why. Okay, everything got closed. No problem. So open JSON read. Now what you should do? First thing, import the the module JSON. Sorry, this should be built-in one. And I'm not sure. Yeah, this is there already available. You can see here. So now what you have to do, you have to start playing with this, with the JSON. Okay. So what you have to do? So now let us see how to read JSON and how to write JSON. Now this is JSON read here. So we try to import JSON. Now what shall we do, friends, after this? Next step is reading a JSON file. How do you read it? Simple. This is not something really difficult. We have to use that load method. But before that, first we should open. We can use any kind of open, with open or normal open. You can see with open, and you can pass that file name. You can open this path, go to that E drive, and then Python file sessions, and then ebooks. This is our JSON, like, copy the full path. So copy this path, and here add that. So add this double slash. Okay, so put double slash here. So here also double slash. Okay, and then give some alias. We open file with open as some JSON file or something, or ebooks file. You can name anything of your choice, something like ebooks. Maybe you can just give as ebooks file. Okay, and put colon under that. Now you should read this. So this is opening a file first thing, right? So this statement opens a file now. Opening JSON file. This is the statement doing this here. Okay, next one. Once we open JSON file, right? JSON file look like this. We are already familiar. It is a kind of what is that object which has data in the form of key and value pairs, and each key value pair is separated with comma. This is very clear for us. And suppose you can see here. So this is an array of JSON objects. I mean, you can see here. This is an array internally. What is it? So if you look at this JSON, so we have multiple rows here. This is one row. This is one row. This is one row, like that. What is this? We have three different book details, and each this opening and closing bracer is treated as one object. So we have altogether three book objects. Means three book details. And when you have multiple objects, then you can see they are kept inside array. You can see the square brackets. So we have collection of books details here, and all these books details are stored in this array here. You can see here. And then important thing is what is it, friends? So each book details are stored as one object. Yeah, I hope this is clear. Right, we have three book details, three objects exist. These are nested JSON, simply speaking. JSON inside a JSON here, you can see. This is altogether one big object. Inside that, we have again some sub objects. And each sub object we can call it as one. Again, this we can see here. This is a nested JSON here. Again, inside that you might have few more sub JSONs. Okay. So this is how a JSON structure can be. It can be nested as well. So it depends on the complexity of data, right? This nested JSONs keep increasing. So the data set and the data and all that decides how this data has to be stored inside a JSON. Okay, this is all fine because you need to have this idea. If you want to do some processing in your code, after reading that in Python, you should have this clear idea whether it is just an independent JSON or whether it is an array of objects, or like that. You should just try to understand the nature of JSON, and based on that you can try to work accordingly in your program, Python program. I hope you are clear with that, friends. So what do you do right now? So you go to your code. First thing is just try to load that. You can see here there is a what happened. Hmm? No, not this, friends. I'm sorry. What you have to do? JSON dot. You have to use JSON method to get that load, and then to this you have to pass this file, this file pointer to this load method, and then assign this. This will by default read that JSON file and load data. Just come here and then assign it to some variable data, right? Or otherwise to mention, like, to be clear, ebooks, like, to want, if you want to have more readability, okay, you can say ebooks data here. Okay, you can say what, friends? You can say ebooks data. Now what you have to do, you can print ebooks data. Okay, once you print, you understand how the data look like, here inside this variable. Of course, this is by default. Generally, if you want to know what is the type here, just put type. It would be by default a dict type, if I am not wrong. This JSON will be converted by default to dict, but let's check. Let's check what it would be. Your JSON outside is nothing but what can we say? It's a dict in Python. So when we run this, so this is all a simple idea, how to open a JSON and how to read that and how to print it, all this. So this is a simple program which gives us a clear idea about reading and printing that JSON data. Right now, what do you do? Just run this, run it. And you can see here, this is a dict type as discussed, right? Generally, when you try to load any JSON file into Python program, then that gets converted to dictionary here, if you see here. And this is your dictionary. You can see the key is ebooks and values are C. Oh, right. Each you can see here, each book details is in one dictionary here. And we have collection of dictionaries here, and each dictionary talks about one book details. You can see here. So, and all these books are stored in an array here. So this is what you need to observe when you load data into your Python program. So this ebooks data has all this. Now suppose I want to print each object detail separately. What should I do now? I have a dictionary here. So requirement is this. What is the requirement? The task is this. Now you want to process this data. So what you once after you read, the tasks are here. What is that? Once I want to process this data, right? So the tasks are like this. So process JSON or dictionary, right? Display each book details. Okay, separately. This is one thing. So not I don't want data to be like this. I don't want data to be like this. So we have, when we look at this structure, this data structure, right? Or this data set, what we are seeing in output, we see that we have array of dictionaries, and each dictionary has collection of book details, language, and edition of book. Now I want to extract this dictionaries and okay, and I want it to be displayed one by one. So that is the actual requirement. It is a simple one. Then how do you do it? First thing, you should split it with key and value pairs, and then you should get this array here. You can see here, get this array, and again you should iterate this array, and from that array again you have to access this each dictionary. So this is a three-step process. First, read dictionary. The the parent dictionary, and then either get this array by key here, ebooks key, or you can split it by key value paste. You can write, right? We have that method. I'll show you what method we should apply here. Right. When you use the method to get both keys and values separately, then this key will be put into one variable, and all this list will be kept, stored into one variable. Again, we have to iterate list, and then that list, from list we should get this each dictionary. This inner dictionaries, and this inner dictionary talks about one book details. So in this way, you should try to do processing here. So what is that? So this is what we should do here. Display each book detail separately. To do that, what we have to do? Let me just show you now. So what you should do, first thing is, so you have to iterate this for some book key, okay, comma values in what we should say, ebooks data dot. Okay, this is the dictionary, right? For dictionary, there are methods. So this is one thing. Just a minute. We have this method. Let me just quickly check it.
Items.
Yes, yes. I'm looking items, right? Yes, we should apply items. This values will give us values, but yes, yes, sir. Sunita, you already have given me the answer. Yeah, we should apply items. That's all. Okay, let us try to apply items. Dictionary dot, but it is not showing any methods here. Not sure. Maybe we are doing it dynamic way, right? So what happened to this? Or key comma values in book. This is fine, but this has to give us dictionary, right? Or is it not able to
Yeah,
decide?
actually, it is not showing items. Actually, I mean, it's not.
Correct. Might be it is not able to decide the nature by, so by the time we are adding here, maybe it will, while executing, it will try to load and come to understand like what data is this. So maybe that's why it is not able to pick it at compile time itself. So what we can do is, so then we can try to process it like this. If that is the case, so let us check like this. Then by default, it gives value. Suppose when you try to process this after this, I know very well because with experience, when you keep doing, you understand. When you apply this like this for some data in ebooks data, so what this will do is by default it read value. I don't read keys. It returns value. That's all. Sorry, it read keys. Yes, yes, I got it. Not value. Sorry, it read keys from dictionary. Let us try to read this and print it. What it shows us here, print of data. You can see here we got ebooks. Maybe we can try to one thing. There is another way to extract this. One is let us do a straight process instead of splitting. One is let us do like this. Some data equal to ebooks of. So inside this, what we have something like this is the key actually. If we try to get with keys, let us see if it works for us. Ebooks. This will automatically return this. What is this returns? This returns the whole value of that key. Here ebooks is key and this whole data is value. What you can do when you say ebooks of data of key, this is the dictionary of key means it returns value. Now data has that all that values. Okay, so this is direct approach. But if there are number of dictionaries, then this is not recommended. So we have to go with the loop approach. Already we have key here, right? In this we have keys. Maybe there is another way for this also. What you can do, if you don't want this approach, what you can do is here. If you have too many data sets with the same structure, usually JSONs will have multiple records with similar structure. It has to be like that only. Suppose you have ebooks data set, all that details. Suppose you have some hundred data sets like that. All has to follow the same structure, usually in a real time. Otherwise, what happens? It will be difficult to process it. Even the vendor has to create data. I mean, data sets like that, and then which they should send to us. Just keep this in mind, friends. Okay, so that is the idea. So what do we do right now? So maybe you can dynamically read it, apply for all different, not just one dictionary. For let's apply this for even for 10 or 100 or 1000, like create a dynamic code. This here what you can do is you can say instead of I put value here. So value, so data equal to what you can do, ebooks data of something like value. So this dynamically reads each dictionary one by one. Okay, and then it try to extract each value from this for this associated with key here. Whatever key here that comes, that key is passed. So when we pass some dictionary of key, it returns the value associated with that dictionary. Now here data will be list type. If you just print and see type of data, you see here, this will be a list type, right? And if you want to print it, you can also print it. Now run this now. Let us see. You can see now that data is a list. Again, you should iterate this list. What you have to do? Again, you should iterate this. And to process this kind of nested, very big JSONs, you don't do like this. You just create a function, recursive function, implement a recursive function so that it's easy to read and display the contents from the dictionary. If you do like this, that this becomes a very tedious process. So in such cases, when you have very big data sets, JSON data sets, recommended suggestion is approach is use recursive functions so that that function will recursively read all this nested lists or nested what we call nested dictionaries or nested sets or anything that is there in that data set. So without any problem. I hope this is clear. But I am just giving you a quick idea how to deep down, go down step by step and try to extract data from the JSON here. JSON is nothing but once we convert that JSON to dictionary, and it is by default dictionary in Python. Okay, so let us see how we can play with that. Okay, let us see that now. So we have now iterate again this we understood this is the list. This data is a list now. What we should do? Apply another iterator. How do you apply it? Simply for some book. I'll just add book. because all this is nothing but each dictionary in this inner dictionary, right? In list is one book details, right? So I put for book in data colon print book. Okay. Now this is a quick idea. What we did, we just did a quick process. We read a JSON file, and then after reading that, JSON gets converted to dictionary. Now we want to process it. So we try to iterate that book, that dictionary, and we try to extract the value from key associated with that dictionary, right? And then all that values are lists. So what we did now, that list again we are processing now, and to get each uh, book details. You know, each book is in the form of a dictionary here. When you iterate that list, we get all that. So we are trying to do that here. Okay, we are again iterating list here to get these dictionary values. Okay, I hope you are clear with this. Now right click and then run this. Now you can see here this time. So you can see we got each book detail separately in the form of these sub dictionaries or some nested dictionaries. You can see here. Again, if you want to again read this language or edition, you can play with that again. Okay, now finally, what did we do? We are able to read JSON, and then we are able to process dictionaries, and then we are able to read. Finally, we are going to we are going to deep down into that book level details, and then we are able to get those details. I hope you are clear with all this. So what did we do? We drill down to the level of that book details, and then we are able to display those details, right? So this is the idea. Hope you are clear with this, friends. Understood now? So this is simple idea about what is this, how to read a JSON, and then right, what is it, and how to what module we should use to play with JSON, then how to read it, right? And then how to not sorry here, how to import JSON, and then how to read it, and how to process that data. That's what we had discussed here. Okay. Now what do we do? Simple, another simple quick idea, like how to write something to a JSON, writing some data to a JSON file. Let's just quickly write something to a JSON. Let's do one thing. Let's create one from the same thing. What we do is whatever we have extracted this simple each book details. Let's write it as a separate this thing to a JSON file. Let's try to write it. Just a quick idea. So what we can do, we can open one more file here. Yes. I'm opening a file. So then that file name, just change it as books to .json, and then as ebooks file 2, and then simply, of course, put a this one here, and then now what you can do, ebooks file 2 dump off. You try to open file inside here, not even at the level of for loop. Put it inside the for nested for inner for. Okay, and then let's add this dump of book. Okay, finally, I think we don't need to close this. It will auto close that. So this read open, this open, we don't need to do here. What we do is let's put me here. This, or else also we can do one thing instead of opening it in a loop. better open it outside loop. That would be better. So that it won't again open and close. Each time the loop ends, it will close it again. Again loop starts, it will open it. So better what you can do, put it here. And the mode you choose here is a right mode. Let us try this now. This works or not, I'm not sure. I'm just creating it as per my understanding. Okay. Finally, this is the idea. Let's run it and see if this file exists in right click run. Per value, what happened? Indentation expected. Okay. Okay. This is expecting indentation for this one. Hmm. Just a minute. I'll just do that. So we'll do one thing then, no problem. Let me put it here. But that many times opening and closing is not a good habit. We do have a nesting like this. We can do it. So why this is not accepting? Maybe if you put, yeah, I got it. It is expecting everything under this. No problem. When you put it here, just we need to give indentation, copy all this and push one tab inside. That would resolve the issue. No problem. It can be inside that as well. No problem. Because this becomes a global for this, because this is inside that with open, right? We can have access to this even here as well in this inner block. Okay. So now let's try to run this. This should work now. Let us see. Attribute error. Attribute object has no attribute dumper. Why no attribute dumper? Okay, this is how we should do that. Okay, I got it. So here it should be book comma ebooks file. I think the data structure is different here. If you see, this is another sample we did earlier. So what we are doing, we are reading data and we are trying to dump it. Dump is for reading data, writing data to a file here. You can see here. So we've opened a file in write mode. Maybe if you want, you can open it in append mode. That's up to you, friends. Right? Whether to open it in read mode or append mode, you can choose whatever you want. Okay. So we've opened. This is how we should use dump. Dump is like this, and then that data you want to write, and then the file pointer. Without file pointer, you cannot do anything. That is important. Okay. Uh, are you following, guys? Can you please, friends, can you please confirm if you are following, or am I confusing you?
Is it json.dump or
Dump only. Yes, it's dump.
no, you gave the file name json.dump or ebooks
Yeah, yeah.
file too.
Yes, again, there is a correct. Correct. JSON.dump, not file pointer dot dump. Yeah, thanks, Sudita. I think with usual practice, with files, we just upload. This is perfect now. Correct. So what is that we should do? We should apply JSON.dump here. Correct. So now let us run this now. Let us run, and then you can see now. File data is written to the file now. Let us go and check in the here. You can see somewhere this one. Now you can open this and see data. You can open it directly. Open with, you can say. Open with Notepad++. JSON can be opened with any text editors. No problem. You can see here. So all that dictionaries are written in the form of JSON objects here. You can see here we have, this has almost this particular data set file has 3 different data sets here. You can see here. So finally, is this clear now? What is that we did? We are able to read JSON through JSON.read, and we are able to write JSON through the JSON.dump. So this is the idea, friends. I hope you are clear with how to play with JSON files now and how to do some processing. We just had some idea like how to play with how to process data in a JSON. That should be clear for all of you. So apart from that, any other doubts or questions, friends? This is idea about JSON, like how to what is JSON, how it look like, and then how to what module we should use to work with JSON. Okay, this is the module we are using, the built-in module JSON. What methods we should use to read JSON, what method we should use to write JSON. So all that, right? All that we had discussed in this session. And till this, do you have any questions, friends? Any questions, friends? Can you please confirm if you are clear till this in the chat box? Please let me know if you are clear on these things.
Manoj, how to move that indentation?
Simple. It's simple,
Yeah.
Harish. Just let me just show you. So this is right. It's like
right.
this, right? Copy all this, okay? Whichever you want to move, and then press tab.
Tab.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then here there is a slight correction. This should not be file.dump. It won't work, friends.
JSON
So,
dot JSON.
yeah, JSON.dump.
Yeah.
So all of you are good now?
Yes.
Can you please confirm in the chat? If you are already confirmed, thank you. So this is idea about what, friends? Jason, anybody has any doubt on this? No, right? So then the next topic we have to discuss is if you have maybe please go through the video. I'll just upload it immediately today. Maybe I see if you missed any the beginning part or something, but this is simple only. I don't think this is difficult. You can easily follow this. Still, if you have problem, I'll upload, go through the video. Still, again, if you have problem tomorrow, you can ask me if you have any doubts or if you want me to quickly recap, I'll do that tomorrow. So now we finished JSON. What else we should discuss now? Excel. This will take up tomorrow. So I will stop here today. I just need to, there is something important to take up. So we will see how to play with Excel sheets tomorrow and just takes a sample Excel sheet, how to read each index, each sheet, and from that sheet, how to read cells. We'll see all that. So this is actually one way of playing with Excels. But if you ask me, in a real environment, playing with Excels, you need to use data frames. I think I did a small POC while working with on our project to play with Excels, like that POC anyhow. It's not something I am not showcasing the data set there, but I can prepare a sample data and show you how to play with Excel's and write it. I'll try to get that tomorrow, and I'll also give you a quick introduction to I mean this pandas, and using pandas, how do you play with data frames? I'll show you that maybe probably tomorrow. Okay. So once I finish this one, I will also give introduction to pandas and then how to work with data frames. I'll show you. Okay. So that's all, friends. That is for today. Any more questions? If you have questions, I'll try to answer. Code, please. Okay. Yes. Sorry. Let me just share the code. Yeah, you can test this. And also I shared the data set. Do you have data set as well with you, Santoshi? If not, you can take this up. I shared before. If you missed that, you can take this and save it as with the ebooks.json and place it in some location. And here just change that path. What you have to do is just change if you are placing it with in a different location, copy that path and just pass it here. That's all. Okay. So if you want more practice, then we will come up with that. So once we close all this, we will use project sessions, right? Maybe, right? That's the idea, friends. Any more questions? No questions, right? If no questions, I'll stop here. We'll catch back tomorrow and start with Excel. Where,
Hi, Mano. Can you hear me?
Ye- yes, it's clear.
Yeah, Mano, with the question you asked us, absolute path, relative path, I'm not sure if you've already discussed in the beginning of the class. I missed it. Is that
No,
the
that
answer
is
correct?
actually Python one, right? Sorry, not Python. It's a Selenium one. Selenium one.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, all good.
Okay, so but the answer to that is what shall I say? It's actually absolute path, which is faster than relative path. I got an
Okay.
answer relative path, but
Okay.
as per my observation, it's actually absolute path, so that it's easily picks up. So
Okay.
we need to cross check that once again. I think Naveen or Raja, somebody gave that answer, but
Okay.
so okay.